Bank clerk misjudges a client. What happens next? I'll never forget the day that changed the way I see people. It started as just another regular morning at the bank where I worked. The air was filled with the soft hum of computers, the occasional ringing of phones, and the chatter of customers discussing their finances. I had been working as a bank clerk for a few years, and by now, I thought I could read people pretty well. I had seen all kinds: business owners depositing large checks, elderly customers withdrawing small amounts, young professionals setting up accounts. I had even come across difficult customers who tested my patience. But that day, I learned something I'll carry with me forever. It was mid-morning when he walked in. A tall black man, probably in his late 40s, dressed in a faded hoodie and worn-out jeans. His sneakers were scuffed, and he carried an old backpack over one shoulder, the fabric slightly frayed at the edges. His beard was a little unkempt, and there were lines on his face, the kind that hinted at a life that hadn't always been easy. His expression was calm but unreadable, and his posture was relaxed, almost like he had been through this routine many times before. And yet, the moment I saw him, I judged him. I hate admitting it, but it's the truth. The assumptions crept into my mind before I could stop them. He didn't look like the kind of person who had money. Maybe he was here to cash a small check, maybe he was struggling, maybe he'd ask for a loan or overdraft assistance. I had seen people in similar clothing come in before, and often, they were dealing with financial hardships. I put on my usual polite customer service face, but I kept my tone neutral, distant. "Good morning, sir. How can I help you?" He didn't say much. Instead, he quietly placed a folded slip of paper on the counter. I picked it up and unfolded it. And that's when my stomach tightened. The withdrawal slip was for $50,000. I looked up at him, then back at the paper. That was a lot of money to ask for in cash. Something about it made me uneasy. People don't just walk in and take out that kind of cash unless they have a really good reason. My first instinct? Suspicion. "Sir, do you have an account with us?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Without a word, he slid his ID across the counter. I took it, my eyes flicking between his face and the name on the card. His account number was already written on the slip, so I typed it into the system. And then my entire world flipped upside down. His account balance? Over $5 million. I stared at the screen, my heart racing. I blinked a few times, thinking maybe I had misread it. I checked again. Nope, $5,286 for 12.37 to be exact. I felt my face flush with embarrassment. This man, whom I had doubted, whom I had looked at with suspicion, was one of our wealthiest account holders. And I had treated him like he didn't belong. A wave of guilt and shame hit me hard. How could I have been so quick to assume? Why had I let his appearance cloud my judgment? He wasn't doing anything suspicious. He wasn't causing a scene. He was simply here to make a transaction. And yet, I had treated him with a level of caution that I wouldn't have used with someone in a tailored suit. I swallowed hard and cleared my throat, trying to cover up my discomfort. "I just need to get approval for large withdrawals. Would you mind waiting a moment?" He nodded, completely calm. But inside, I was not calm. I grabbed the slip and hurried to my manager's office. My hands felt sweaty as I held the paper in my grip. "There's a man at my counter asking for $50,000 in cash," I said, my voice a little unsteady. I just wanted to check before processing it. My manager barely glanced up from his computer. "Who is it?" "His name is Carter. Marcus Carter." At that, my manager's head snapped up. "Oh, Mr. Carter? He's one of our top clients. He owns multiple businesses, including a real estate company. He's been with us for years. If he wants to withdraw, let him." I felt like I had just been punched in the stomach. All this time, I had been treating one of our most valued customers like a potential fraudster. I had let my own unconscious biases cloud my professionalism. Taking a deep breath, I walked back to my counter. "Thank you for your patience, Mr. Carter," I said, my voice softer now. "I'll process your request right away." He gave me a small smile. "No problem. Take your time." As I carefully counted the bills, my hands slightly trembling, I felt the need to say something. I couldn't just pretend like nothing had happened. I appreciate your business with us," I said hesitantly. Then, before I lost my nerve, I added, "and I'm sorry if I seemed doubtful earlier." He let out a quiet chuckle, his eyes filled with something I couldn't quite place. "Understanding, maybe? You judged me the moment I walked in, didn't you?" My face burned with shame. There was no point in denying it. "I did," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. "And that was wrong of me." He nodded, his expression kind but knowing. "It happens all the time," he said. "People see what they want to see." I wanted to argue. I wanted to tell him that I wasn't that kind of person, that I didn't judge people like that. But the truth was, I had. And now, I had to sit with that realization. He carefully placed the cash in his backpack, then looked at me one last time before leaving. "Never assume you know someone's story just by looking at them," he said. "You might miss out on knowing someone great." And with that, he walked out. I sat there for a long time, staring at the empty space where he had stood, replaying his words in my head. That moment changed me. I still work at the bank, but I don't see people the same way anymore. Now, I remind myself every single day, wealth isn't always in expensive suits, and struggle isn't always in ragged clothes. More importantly, everyone deserves to be treated with the same respect, no matter what. Because I almost let my own assumptions make me miss out on a truly remarkable person. And I won't make that mistake again. Hello, amazing viewer. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more awesome content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know what you think. And if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please share it with your friends and family. Your support means the world to me and helps this channel grow. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.